Laura Ray, and I'm almost 60. I'll be 60 in a few months, and I thought it would be fun to do a beginning makeup video for women that are 60 or over. I get lots of questions from women over 60 that say, I'm just getting back into makeup. What would you suggest? What brushes should I use? Which products? So I thought it was about time that I addressed those questions. We're going to do a look today with some of my favorite products, and I'm going to share some tips with you and techniques that I think are very beginner friendly. I would suggest, if you're a beginner, sort of curate your products. Get them all together, have them all out in front of you like I do today, everything that you're going to use, and sort of have a plan in place. Now, the first thing that I do is hydrate my face. That is probably the most important step we're going to talk about today. And something I love to use that I've gone back to, I purchased it before and I was trying other products, but I really missed it so much, is this Vichy Mineral 89. It's so great for plumping up the skin. So I take a couple of pumps of it, sort of put it in between my fingers and go over my skin. Now, you'll hear a lot about primers. I have some that I really love, but today I'm just going to use this as a primer. And I think one thing that's important when you're a beginner is try to keep things a little simple. YouTube, we share so many products that it can be a little overwhelming for a beginner. So I would also say keep things very simple. That's what I love about this Vichy. Now, I do bring it up under the eyes and onto my neck and around the jawline, but I also like to use their eye cream. It's not actually a cream, it's more of a gel texture to it, and I just take the ring finger and pat underneath the eyes. I don't personally have super dry under eyes, but when I apply products and I go outside and get out into the air, my skin does tend to start drying out some. So I like to start with it really hydrated. See what a difference now. My skin looks really just moisturized. There's no dryness. And I make sure that I get it into the fine lines and wrinkles that I have. Now, I have very sensitive skin, but it's sort of combination skin right now. I get oily in the T-zone. So we'll talk about that, how to address that issue. But I know most women my age struggle with dryness. So if you do, you might need a little heavier moisturizer or maybe a little extra of this. You could put a little extra after you do your first layer just to make sure you've covered everything. I like going around the mouth too. Sometimes I used to skip that area and then I would see lip lines, meaning above the lip, pop up during the day. So I think it's really important to make sure you're hydrating around the mouth area. While my moisturizer is drying, what I like to do is go ahead and work on my eyes. So I start with the brows first to develop the frame of my eyes, and I've really been enjoying this pencil from Sephora, and everything I use today will be linked beneath the description of the video if you just hit the more button. So I go in and really I start drawing a little bit of a line on an angle here to build up the brow a little bit and develop the tail. I have less hair there, so I like to sort of work on that area first to balance out the eye, and then I just put a little bit of product in the front. And then I also like to go at an angle the way the hairs grow, and then just sort of brush through it. I like this particular product a lot because it already has the spoolie on it, so I don't need to grab another brush. But adding some shape to the brow and filling it in if you have thinner brows like I do really makes such a big difference. And this shape of pencil I've really fallen in love with. It's on an angle like this, and it's not quite as precise, which I've actually found works a little bit better for me. And this one has wax built right into it, so you don't have to use a separate wax product. So I just keep going back and forth and try to make the brows look similar. They're more like cousins, my brows. They do look a little different each side. So I try to just build them so they look a little more similar. Those look pretty good. I don't want too much color in the brows, just enough to bring a little bit of the frame back to the eyes. Now let's go on to eyeshadow. You can keep it really simple by using a cream shadow, and cream shadows work great for mature eyes because all of us have a little sagging in that area, and powder can tend to collect more in those areas. So I like actually using a combination of the two. I have been loving this cream shadow from Sephora. It's called Charged Up. And today I just wanted to share with you that I'm going to use a set of brushes. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy travel set. It comes with this beautiful case and these brushes, and I actually love that the handles are smaller. To me, this makes them really easy to use. These are the two shadow brushes that come in the kit, so I'll be using those. And what I would suggest is not wiping. If you can swipe directly on the eye like this, I'll show you two ways. Put a little bit of product and then take some kind of fluffy brush like this one and blend out. Now, I love this color for the mobile lid. These liquid shadows are very much like a primer, so you really don't need one. And if you take this shade, even though it's a shimmer, and bring it up into the crease, it almost looks like it's not a shimmer anymore. I think that's pretty neat. So I'm going to put this on both eyes. Now, another technique you could do is put some on the back of your hand. If you don't want so much product, pick it up on the brush and then go on to the eye. So either way works beautifully. I'm going to bring a little into the pocket of the eye, just to, in the inner corner, just to brighten things up a little bit. This brush works beautifully. I really love it. Okay, so there's the beginning of the eye look, and look at how smooth my mobile lid looks with this product. Really beautiful. Now what I'm doing is taking out this little kit. I love it. I've used it so long, the Naked 3 Mini. I've had two now of the full Naked 3, and I bought this, and it's just perfect. This is great for travel. You don't need all of those shadows, and this is just something that is so useful, the shades. I also like the Naked 2. That's another great one. I'm just going to add a little of this sort of pinky mauve shade to the crease. This also would have been a great shade to put on the lid if you just want a one and done. You can do so much with this. You can get fancier with it, but if you want a one and done shade, this is beautiful too. Now, another thing, this might even be too much. And like I said, you could go in with one of these shades and just do even a one shade look. But what I find too is another great way to add color is through liners. And I have one of my favorite liners I found this year is from Sephora, from their Sephora collection. This is navy, and navy can just bring so much life to your eyes. It makes the whites of the eyes look so much brighter. So today I'm going to use this. It's retractable, which makes it really easy. You don't have to mess with a sharpener. And I'm just going right across the lash line, little dashes. And then at the corner, what you can do is just do a little flick up. I'm just taking the pencil and just flicking like that. And then what I like to do is take my Angie brush and blend it out. And even you can see I went a little too high there. Don't worry about that, because what you're going to do is take the brush. You can take this fluffy brush. You could even take this other one. This is the A501 that comes in the kit, and just sort of blend it out. And that way you don't have to be so perfect with the liner. And this gives a softer look. Now, I don't like the way that my right eye turned out, so I'm going to show you this right now. What I would do is take a little of the Garnier. It's a micellar cleansing water. And if you don't like how your liner turns out, what I do is just wet a Q-tip, and I'm just going to take some of that off. Look at how easy that blended. Now, I usually do the bottom underneath here and join it with the top, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to take the Sephora pencil and just go the outer third of the eye, like that, and then join it with the top. I'm just sort of grabbing in this pocket here and flicking, and then joining the line up. And then again, I'm going to take that Q-tip and just clean up the edges. This works great. I keep this, I have 2 bottles. I keep one in my bathroom. I keep one in my filming room. It just is such a great product, so affordable. And I'm just going to draw the line like here and flick. I'm going to pop on some mascara. I recently repurchased this too in a full size because I loved it so much. It's the High Impact Mascara from Clinique. My daughter had bought me one of these kits, and this came in it, and I just forgot how much I love this mascara. It gives you very fluttery kind of lashes where they're not clumpy at all. And I just like the brush a lot. So what I'm doing is going this way horizontally across the lashes, and then changing the brush up and going vertically through them, just to coat some that I'm not getting when I go the other way. And you can sort of wiggle at the lash line just to make that a little darker, makes the lashes look thicker. Very easy. This is such an easy mascara to work with. It doesn't clump. I love it. So let's take a look. Here's this eye and then without it. I also think that during the day, my lashes, which made me repurchase it, look curled all day. And I like that. I don't like using a curler very much because it just tugs on the lashes so much. I've used a heated curler before, and I really like that. But if I can get my lashes to curl without any kind of tool, then I'm all about that. One less thing to do. Beautiful. I think the eyes turned out really nice. They're really pretty for an evening look. You could wear this for the day, but I really recommend these Urban Decay palettes. They're great for a beginner. Now let's talk about my foundation. I haven't put any foundation on yet, and what I'm going to use today is my True Match. I really love this one from L'Oreal. It's a very thin formula. It covers up the discoloration I have here around the nose area where I get allergies and stuff like that. And it's not too thick for my forehead where I have more texture and fine lines here. What I would say about foundation is where the thinnest you can get by with. That's going to get into fine lines and wrinkles less. And so I believe that the thinner the foundation, the better your skin's going to look. Now, I don't want to put it up under my eyes because I'm going to show you a brightener, and I don't want all those layers under my eyes. That's not going to look very good. So right now, I'm going to put it on half of my face so you can see what this foundation looks like. So I'm just going to go up to here with the foundation. Oh, this brush is so soft. It really is nice. And you don't have to travel to use this. I just think this is a great set. I like having the little container, the little bag to keep it in. And I do love these smaller handles. They seem to be very beginner friendly. All right. I went a little too far on the nose, but we'll stop there. Now, as a beginner, one of the things that you'll probably struggle with the most is getting the foundation to look smooth and beautiful on the face. And when we have fine lines and wrinkles, that complicates things. So what I like to do, so I don't get puddling in these pores here, is just lift the forehead. Just for a moment, just to blend it all out. So here is this side with the L'Oreal, and then here without. And you can see all the discoloration is gone. It looks really smooth. Here you see more of the pores. You see the marks around the nose, the veins, the little spots here. So I'm really happy with this foundation. It's so affordable, and it's a longtime favorite. And it does cover pretty much, I don't have to use much in the way of concealer, and I like that. As I said, the least amount of layers that I have on my face, the better it looks all day. And again, I'm going to lift the forehead just a little bit. And even in here, I separate because I have a line in the middle here. So that helps to smooth that out. And around the mouth, I'll just sort of tighten my lips in and then go so I don't get, a line where I have not put any makeup. There we go. All right, so we're done with foundation. Let's take a look. Again, I'm going to use some concealer in a minute, so I didn't go up too high, but I do want to have that blended. So I'm just taking what's left on the brush and going up under the eyes. And that's giving me quite a bit of coverage. So that's another tip I would give is don't go up so far with the foundation. If you don't want to use a concealer and you can get by with it, just take whatever's left on your brush and just go up under. And then you're getting so little product, yet you're getting quite a bit of coverage. I know some of you have written me and told me that you have very dark under eye circles or you want something to brighten the under eyes. Really, the best that I have found is this Catrice Under Eye Brightener. I love this stuff. It's just fantastic. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Angie's brush. Now, this one is the one that comes in the kit. And here's her full size, just so you can see. So the tips are the same. The handle is just, look at how much shorter, just a little bit. So I really actually like the little handle. As I've said, I think they're a lot of fun. Not having it be so long, it fits in my hand easier. So I'm just going to dab a little bit on the brush. And a tip I would give is put your corrector on or brightener and let it sit for about 45 seconds. I recently read an article about that a lot of makeup artists say let it sit because it needs to warm up to your skin. So I'm going to let it sit for about 45 seconds and then we'll start blending. Now, as far as blush, a bright blush with some color can do so much for you. I am loving this from this company. It's called About Face. Now, don't be shocked when I show you the color because you're going to go, what is this woman thinking? Look at the color. It does not look like that on the skin at all. So I'm going to take this brush. This is an angled brush, and I'm going to go ahead. But before I do that, I should have put my bronzer on. So I'm going to bronze up my face. This is the Flower Heat Wave. It's a favorite of mine because I don't think you can mess it up. I think it's perfect for a beginner. It really is a mix of shades, and I just don't feel like anyone could mess this up. This is just a foolproof bronzer. Some of them are just so strong that you touch your skin with it and the pigment is just a lot. This is very soft and buildable. So I've loved this for the past probably 3 years. I've used it and I've repurchased it, which is saying a lot. All right, so I love that. Look at how that bronzed up the face. Now let's fix the under eye brightener. I'm going to go in there. And we're going to go over this, and I'm just patting into the skin. And notice this is my worst area where I have the most lines. So I'm sort of strategically staying away from that. I'm using the outer corner and the inner corner for the bulk of the product. And then what I'm going to do next is take the warmth of my finger and sort of blend it over into that area where I'm not getting a whole lot there. And this just really brightens the under eye, makes you look more awake. Let's do the other side. I have found this works so well because if I put too much product directly here, it's going to end up in the lines. So, and I even bring it down like onto the cheekbone almost as a highlighter. This works great as a cheekbone highlighter too. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's take a look. That was super easy, and that area looks very bright now. Now that I've done the bronzer, we'll go ahead and I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just wiping it off for the blush. Now, this blush does not look like it does in the pan. When you put it on, it's a beautiful sort of pinky shade. More of a lilac. I like this brand. It's called About Face. Ulta just started carrying it maybe 6 or 8 months ago, and I love it. Now, as far as placement of the blush, I like to put it higher on the cheekbone. If I put it down here, it looks like my face is droopy. So I've always actually, for my face shape, liked my blush applied higher, but especially as I've gotten older, if the blush is down here, just the whole face goes down. And you can even bring the blush up a little bit on the sides of the face like this, where it's almost like an L. But this angled brush works great for a lot of things. You can use it for your bronzer. You can use it for your blush. I really like having some type of angled brush in my collection. Now we're going to move on to lips. That's one of my favorite products. I'm going to start with a drugstore product I love, and then we'll go ahead and move on to a little higher price lipstick. I would say Revlon, you just can't go wrong. Revlon has such beautiful lipsticks. This shade is Secret Club number 766. What I like to do is put on some type of lip balm while I'm getting ready. I have a lip balm on now, and then the lipstick just really glides. Look at how it glides across the lips. I do love lip liner. I'm not going to use it today because, again, as a beginner, I don't think you have to have lip liner. I think just lipstick will add so much color to the face. I'm going to go ahead and take my bangs, put them back in place so you can sort of see how this looks. Now, if you want a more luxe look, it's so simple to do. Just get a gloss like this. This one is so affordable. It's the Almay Goddess Gloss. It's a longtime favorite of mine. This is the shade Fairy, which out of all the ones they made, Fairy was my favorite. And all you do is put a little bit in the center, like that. This gives such a beautiful luxe look to the lips. Super affordable. This is around, I don't know, $7. And the Revlon lipsticks, they're super affordable too. So that's one of my favorites. Now I'm going to wipe that off and show you one that I love from BK Beauty. I purchased this when it first came out, and it's the shade Beauty. And it has a very just beautiful creaminess to it. And I just love these lipsticks. They're magnetized, so you can see. And they're magnetized to each other too. So as far as I have several shades and they hook together. So I think that's pretty neat. Wow, I love this shade. One last tip I would give as a beginner is set with a setting spray. You notice I didn't use powder today. Powder's not necessary. A setting spray will work. And if you like powder, then I think that's great. And what I usually do is just powder my T-zone. But I brought with me today the Milani Make It Last, a super affordable spray. I'm going to put it right on my foundation brush. I don't like spraying this directly on my face. It gets in your eyes, it gets everywhere. So I spray right onto the brush like this, and then just pat into the skin like that. It's less irritating. I think it feels nice on the skin. You can be strategic. If you feel like you need a little more, say like I do around the nose area, then you can apply a little more there. This way, you're sure you're getting coverage too all over. If you're just spraying, you're really probably missing like the sides of the face. So you can even spray a little more on and then just pull the hair back and get around the sides. But this works great for keeping the makeup on during the day without all of the powder. This final look, I think, is great for any woman that is 60 or older. I think it just brings a lot of life to the face. And that's what we're really looking for, right? Is some color and just to feel more polished. That's what I'm looking for, just to look a little more polished when I go out. And I just really love these shades. I think they're great for a mature woman. Let me know about your favorite products that you have been using that are your go-tos. I'd love to try them if I haven't already. Also, let me know what was your favorite product I used today that you thought really looked great. I appreciate your input. Again, if you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you here. This is such a beautiful and amazing community. I want to thank all of you for watching, for all of your love, your kindness, support. I appreciate you so much. I hope that all those blessings that you give me will come right back to you. Have a beautiful week. I'll see you soon.